Once upon a time, there lived three best friends named Ara, Ibukun, and Tola. Ara is the sweetest among the three, always caring and cheering for her friends. She was a successful barrister, known for her kindness and unwavering support. Ibukun, a talented fashion designer, very creative and an introvert, always laughing at her friends' jokes. And Tola, a dancer who had dropped out of the university. She was a bit wild, carefree, and the life of every party. Their friendship was an unlike one, given their diverse backgrounds and personalities. One will wonder how the three of them met. Though, among the three of them, Ara has a stable job and she's the glue that held the trio together. And now that she's getting married, it feels like it is only Ara that everything is working well for. She got a good job. She has a loving parents who are very supportive, unlike Tola's parents who sent her away when she had failed her courses. Tola, who dreamed of being a dancer instead of a biochemist, but her parents never shared in her dream. Ara had taken her in and made her live off campus with her, encouraged and supported her. One evening, as Ara and Tola walked down the street, they had saw Ibukun in a large crowd of people mourning the recent loss of her mother. With no one left to support Ibukun, Ara took her in. Ara's parents even paid for Ibukun's apprenticeship as a fashion designer, helping her build a future. To the other two friends, Ara is just a lucky lady. And when Tunde, a tall, handsome and a medical doctor, came for Ara's hand in marriage, the two friends just stared in disbelief. As Ara said, "Your friend is getting married to the love of her life." Ara turned to Ibukun and said, "And don't forget the wedding dress you promised to make for me. And as you are a perfectionist, I don't expect anything less than a gorgeous dress." Yes, Ibukun vowed to sew Ara's wedding dress as a token of appreciation for all Ara has done for her. But as she held the scissors to cut the white lace, tears dropped from her eyes as her heart heavy with jealousy and longing. She wished she could have a life as wonderful as Ara. She remembered when she had met Diron, that gold digger who had come to rip her off the little she has. Diron with his sugar-coated mouth. Thank goodness for Ara, who saw beyond his sweet words. Ara has stood for her, consoled her during those heartbreaking periods. She had felt like her world had shattered, but Ara gave her hope, made her smile. Tola knocked on Ibukun's shop. "Girl, why are you so lost in thought?" Tola said. "Is that Ara's wedding dress? My goodness, the lace is so beautiful. I heard it is imported." Tola eyed the expensive lace material. "Gosh, Ara is such a lucky girl. Do you think Tunde is the right man for her? They say there is no perfect man out there. How come this Tunde is so perfect? Don't you think he's pretending?" Surprisingly, Ibukun disagreed. "Don't you think we should do some background check on him?" Tola insisted. "Let us dig up the cockroach in Tunde's cupboard." Suddenly, Ibukun laughed. "Forget it. Tunde is a perfect man. He is one in a million. In that case, let us ruin Ara's wedding dress." Tola suddenly spat out. "That way, the wedding will be cancelled or postponed, and our girl gets to be with us for more days." "What do you need more days for?" asked Ibukun. "To dig up dirt on Tunde, of course," replied Tola. "Let's forget about Tunde for now," said Ibukun. "Any news concerning the creative visa you applied for?" Ibukun asked Tola. Tola in return shook her head. Finally, the wedding dress was ready. It was gorgeous, and everyone who saw it hailed Ibukun for a job well done. As Ibukun placed the dress in Ara's wardrobe, Tola came behind her. "Let's rip the dress," said Tola. "No," replied Ibukun. "The wedding is tomorrow." No, Tola. This is madness. Come on, girl. Remember, we are doing this to save Ara from herself. You remember how Ara saved me from utmost embarrassment when I went for Mortina Dance Hall, a dance competition back then in our university days. I had disgraced my entire generation just because I got nervous. But this is a different case, interrupted Ibukun. You fell while doing that thing you call dance. Ibukun suddenly laughed. "Oh, Tola, you were the worst dancer that day. Your village people really followed you." "Come on, girl. It is called stage fright," Tola defended herself. "See, I sneaked in some black oil. Let's pour it on the dress," Tola imagined. "No, come off it," Ibukun said firmly. "Okay, let's rip it," said Tola as she dug her long nails into the delicate fabrics. Ibukun shut her eyes. "Don't you want Ara to be with us? Do you want one strange man to take her away to another state, where we will not see her again?" Tola said. "No," replied Ibukun. So Ibukun picked the scissors from her bag and joined Tola in ripping the wedding dress into pieces. After they were done, Tola sat on the floor and said, "What have we done? Oh goodness." At that moment, the door opened and Ara stood there, looking at her shredded wedding gown. Her eyes were wide and her mouth agape as she looked at the scene before her. The once beautiful wedding gown was now a tattered mess of lace and fabrics scattered across the ground. Ibukun and Tola, her dearest friend, sat on the ground, their face filled with tears and guilt. "Ara, we didn't mean to," Tola stammered, her voice breaking. Ibukun, unable to meet Ara's eyes, whispered, We were jealous, Ara. We couldn't bear the thought of losing you." Ara's heart ached, not just for the ruined dress, but for the betrayal she felt from the two people she had trusted the most. She took in a deep breath, trying to steady her emotions. Tola wiped her tears and looked up. "We were afraid, Ara. Afraid that once you got married, you'd forget about us, that your new life won't have room for us." Ara breathed deeply, her initial shock giving way to a deep sadness. "I love you both, Ibukun, Tola, more than you can imagine. My life won't be the same without you. But this isn't the way to keep me close. My wedding is tomorrow." She sat on the floor and joined them in crying. "I got the visa," Tola suddenly said. "I was given the creative visa. I hid it in my wardrobe for 3 weeks now. I don't want us to fall apart." Ara suddenly gave Tola a big slap on her back. "After all the sleepless nights we spent praying for the success of this application, after many rejections, and now you don't want to leave. Come on. Distance won't be a barrier to our friendship. Girls, I love you, whether we are together or miles apart," Ara reaffirmed. "I have a little confession," said Ibukun. "I made you another wedding dress. You know, I'm a perfectionist, and I felt the first dress wasn't up to my standard. I sent a sample to Vicky James, and she loves it. She wants to work with me." "Come on, girls," said Ara. "We have all the reason to be joyful." Ara hugged them. "My girls are making me proud, and this call for a celebration." So they spent the night talking and laughing about their memorable time together, and when morning came, Ara was very beautiful in the new wedding dress. It was a beauty to behold. Tola and Ibukun stood beside her as her bridesmaids. Finally, Ara married Tunde, surrounded by love and support. Despite the trials, Ara knew her friends would always be a part of her life, and in that knowledge, she found a true happiness. True friends, indeed, are like rare gems. The end.